Welcome back. In this video, we're going to take a look at advanced data tables. Excuse me. Now, here's an example we have. And advanced data tables work a little bit differently to the standard data table in the sense that you can actually sort information in the table. You can search for various things depending on the input that you put in. And you can also use what's called pagination. So you can have multiple pages of information being displayed in the one section. Okay, so let's jump in and see how we can do this. So we'll jump over to our dashboard, jump into our pages. And we'll edit our home page with Elementor. We'll pop down to the bottom. And we'll add a new section. We'll make it a single column one again. We'll just pop in a heading. Rightio. So the widget we're looking for this time will fall under the essential add-ons one again. This time we're looking for advanced data table. We'll drag and drop that one in. As you can see, we'll be presented with we'll call it a scaffold of what the page is going to look like. Right. So our first option is data source. And if we click on the drop down there, you can see that we've got several different options. The only two options we can really use though, unless we're willing to pay for the Pro version, is static data or Ninja tables. So today I'm going to be using static data. So we'll leave that selected. Then under advanced features, we've got all our different options for our various bits and pieces. So if we want to be able to sort the different columns alphabetically or numerically, we can turn that option on or off here. We can choose whether we want the search bar or not. You may not actually want the search bar, so you can turn it off. And the pagination, which is this little selector down the bottom, it lets you cycle through pages. So we can choose whether we want to have that on or off or not. So we can obviously turn it off and then it'll just display all the information. In most cases, you're going to want, if you've got a lot of data, you're going to want to paginate it. You can also choose a drop down or buttons as you type for it. Personally, I think buttons look a bit neater, but it's up to you. And then the bottom option is how many rows you want on each page. Okay. And just take note that pagination will be applied on the live preview only. So you might necessarily see it here while you're working on it. Okay. Now the final one is import or export. So basically what we've got to use to put data into this table is a CSV file, which stands for comma separated values. And I've got an example of one right here. So we'll just open it up and have a look. And basically all the CSV file is a file that has each cell's value on a row separated by a comma. So in this case, this top row here, which would be the heading, we've got name, comma, age, comma, star sign, comma, hours. So basically we know we've got 4 cells along that row. And then enter means we're on a new row, and then we've got 4 bits of information on that row, so on and so forth. Okay, so we'll just copy all this, or you can type in your own string of information and paste this in. As you can see, it's just gone in the same way. You can actually resize this if you need. And the only other option we're going to select here is down the bottom here. It says import first row as header. See, our first row is our header. We'll select that and we click on import. And now you can see it's brought all that information into the table and populated it. Okay. So once again, we can jump into the styles. And most of the styling options here are quite the same for the data table that we did earlier. So we can adjust the widths. We can play around with the borders. We can change our headings, give them different colors and styles. So all the options pretty much remain the same. We can, exception being, we can tweak a few extras like the search bar and our pagination and the buttons. But essentially that's it. So now if we go look at the live preview, so we'll just update. Preview changes. You'll see that with the advanced table, we don't have our pagination buttons. But we can sort our information. And if we start entering search parameters, it'll refine our search for us. To get pagination happening, we actually need more records than we've declared rows. So if we just close this and go back into the editor, and we come back to content and click under advanced features, rows per page is currently set to 10. And we've only got I think we've only got 10 records. So if we set that to 5, you won't see the changes here. But once we update that and do a live preview, you'll see now that we're only displaying 5 rows. And if we've got our pagination buttons down here, we can click on the arrow to move through them, or we can click on the numbers directly. And that's the basics of the advanced table.